Hello everyone, how are you? Good evening. Let's wait for 2 minutes, let everyone join in, and then let's start off. All right, let's just wait for 2 minutes. Let's just wait for 2 minutes. Let's wait for another minute, and then we start off. Come on, everyone, join in. All right, welcome to Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform that provides to you a world of courses, resources, content, live and recorded sessions to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. And also welcome to Crack CA Exams with us, which is a vertical and channel of Unacademy that caters to the students of CA Foundation and Intermediate in their journey and pursuit of preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination by providing top educators, quality content, and overall a great learning experience. So come, let's crack CA exams with Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform. Welcome to the session. Before we proceed, a brief introduction about the educator today. Hello, I'm Prathik Gupta. I am a Bachelor of Commerce from Christ College, Bangalore University. I am an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, an associate member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and an associate member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and also a law graduate from Karnataka State Law University. I'm currently a practicing chartered accountant and also a visiting faculty for CA subjects and an educator for CA students both offline and online. Prior to starting on my own, I worked with SR Bartley Boy and Associates, that is the Indian member firm of Ernst & Young Global in the Audit and Assurance Department. Then I went on to work with Ernst & Young India, EY India, in the Mergers and Acquisitions Department. And then finally I went on to work with the Manipal Group in Bangalore as the corporate controller of their Indian entity as well as the German subsidiary located in Frankfurt, Germany. And it was only after I got back from Frankfurt, Germany that I decided to start something on my own, which gave me an opportunity to become an educator, which in turn has also given me this opportunity today to take this session for you young, bright, and enthusiastic CA aspirants. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I hope you find this session useful. Anytime during the session, in case you have any questions, queries, observations, or discussions to be made, please do not hesitate to drop in a line, and I will be happy to take it up for you. I would also like to draw your attention to my name, which is Prathik. That's Pratik with an H. Now, why I'm stressing on my name is because a lot of people misspell my name, because of which they're unable to find me on the Unacademy Learning app, and hence they're unable to find me on the YouTube channel of Unacademy and my hundreds of hours of sessions as well. So it's Prathik Gupta. Also, like I told you, Unacademy caters to you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination through 3 platforms. That is YouTube, Special Class, and the Plus course of Unacademy. While YouTube and Special Classes are absolutely free of cost, Plus course, the But the Plus course is a premium platform of Unacademy, and it is a payment-based subscription model which provides various subscription packages for the various examination, which I will tell you in the further slide. Now, YouTube and special classes, like I said, are absolutely free of cost, but they provide you enormous amount of value and resources to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and intermediate examinations. Now, in this slide, I'm going to tell you about why I recommend you to get onto the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible. First one is where you get daily live classes on the Plus platform of Unacademy, where you get to chat with your educator, engage in discussions, ask your doubts and answer polls. All this while the class is going on. Yes, you heard it right, all this while the class is going. Second reason why I recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy is because of the live tests and quizzes it conducts, which help in evaluation of your preparation with the regular mock tests and quizzes and get detailed analysis of your performance. The third reason why I recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy is because of the structured courses it provides, as all our courses are structured in line with your exam syllabus to help you best prepare for it. And lastly and most importantly, the Plus platform of Unacademy gives you unlimited access, which means the one subscription gets you access to all our live and recorded courses to watch from the comfort of any of your devices. Please take 30 seconds, go through this. Any questions you have, please ask me. All right, then, like I told you, the previous slide I spoke about the live and recorded special classes, live and recorded Plus courses. Now, where do you get them? You get them on an app known as the Unacademy Learning app. So, for all of you who have downloaded the Unacademy Learning app and are using it, I thank you very much and I request your support in the future as well. And for those of you who have not yet downloaded the Unacademy Learning app, I request you to go to the Play Store on your mobile phones, download and install the Unacademy Learning app on your phones, put in your mobile number where you will get an OTP. And using that OTP, you can register on the Unacademy Learning app. It is as simple as this with no lengthy or complicated procedures. Now, you might ask me, okay, I have downloaded and installed the Unacademy Learning app on my phones. I've registered on it. Now, what next? So let me tell you that the Unacademy Learning app gives you access to all the live and recorded special classes that Unacademy has to offer to you to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. And it also gives you access to all the live and recorded Plus courses that Unacademy has to offer to you in order to accelerate and enhance your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. So keeping these points in mind, I request you to download the Unacademy Learning app, install it on your phones, put in your mobile number and register on it and start using the world of resources that Unacademy has to offer to you. All right. Now, coming to the important slide, like I told you, the Plus platform of Unacademy is the premium platform of Unacademy, which is a payment-based subscription model and which provides various subscription packages for the various examinations. So the various packages provided by the Plus platform of Unacademy are as follows. The packages provided are for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. The 1 month package costs you rupees 3,500. The 3 months package costs you rupees 8,750. The 6 months package costs you rupees 14,000. The 12 months package costs you rupees 17,500. And the 24 months package costs you rupees 21,000. Now please remember, all these are the listed prices. So before you make the payment for the package of your choice, please do not forget to use the code Prathik to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed prices. I repeat, please do not forget to use the code Prathik to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed prices. The after discount price of the various packages are: the 1 month package will cost you rupees 3,150. The 3 months package will cost you rupees 7,875. The 6 months package will cost you rupees 12,600. The 12 months package will cost you rupees 15,750, and the 24 months package will cost you rupees 18,900. So you see, immediately you get a savings of 10% as soon as you use my code. Now, having said this, I personally recommend you to start off with the 12 months and 24 months packages for 2 reasons. First is cost savings. If you compare the 1 month package cost with the per month cost of the 12 months and 24 months package, you will see that you're getting great cost savings immediately. And secondly, and most importantly, since the CA Foundation and Intermediate courses are provided to you in one package, that is the 12 months or 24 months package, it will be very beneficial for you to go for the 12 months or 24 months package, since it covers the duration of both your courses, that is the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination, as normally it takes a minimum of 6 months for you to prepare and clear the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. So if you're getting the core package, 12 months or 24 months package covering the entire duration of both your courses at a very cost-effective price, I think that's a very good deal. But having said this, you're free to choose the package of your choice. But before you make the payment, please do not forget to use the code Prathik to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed price. You can also go for the no-cost EMI options for the 12 months and 24 months packages, just in case you do not wish to make the entire payment at one shot. And the other payment options are internet banking, debit card and credit card, and also all the coins that you've accumulated by watching the special classes can be redeemed by making the payment for the Plus course. Please take a look for this slide for 30 seconds and then we proceed. Hi Omkar, how are you? Nice to see you. Okay, like I told you, the Unacademy Learning app gives you access to all the live and recorded special classes. Here are the snapshots of few of the many special classes that I have conducted on the Unacademy Learning app, which you will find beneficial in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. There are special classes on revision test paper, Sale of Goods Act, Indian Contracts Act, the Companies Act, fundamentals of accounting, revision on partnership accounts, death of partner, admission of partner, valuation of inventories, revision on final accounts of entities, revision on sale of goods, and hundreds of other sessions. So please log into the Unacademy Learning app, go to my profile, Prathik Gupta, and start making use of all the resources that are there, which will help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. Also, here are the links to few of the many special classes that I have conducted on the Unacademy Learning app, which will be highly beneficial to you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. You can either click on these links or copy and paste these links on your browser to take you directly to the special class on the Unacademy app. Okay, there are special classes on Indian Contracts Act, Sale of Goods Act, the Indian Partnership Act, the Limited Liability Partnership Act, the Companies Act, Basics of Communication, Accounting Concepts, and Revision Test Papers, May 2020. All right. So that's the schedule of my sessions for the next 3 or 4 days. We are currently here. Okay, and today we will be finishing with this and starting a little bit for this today, continuing with this tomorrow, then day after tomorrow this one, and on 16th this one. Okay. Let's proceed. So business organizations is what we started yesterday. So whatever we have discussed yesterday, we will not be discussing that again, but we will proceed with where we stopped. Okay. So basically we spoke about what are the organizations, what are the environment it works on, who are the specialists who helps in business review and business market research and analysis. That is your budget analyst, your financial analyst, your management analyst, market research analyst. We went through this also in detail yesterday, so we will not be continuing. Then company overview. How do we get the company overview? How do we prepare a company overview? What is the methodology? The company overview will usually include company introduction, what does it do, philosophy, company history, core management, portfolio of businesses, competitive scenario, financial performance, etc. Okay, we discussed all this very much in detail yesterday, so I will not be covering all this. And here we said few of the designations, most commonly used designations in companies. Those are your chairman, CEO, MD, director. Okay, and then we saw an overview of selected Indian companies. We did speak about Adani Ports and SEZ Limited yesterday. Okay, we did all this yesterday, and today we will start off from where we stopped. So then now we will see a brief overview of Asian Paints Limited. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at the company overview. First one, Incorporation year is 1942, so it's quite an old company. The headquarters is in Mumbai, India. Present head, MD and CEO is Mr. KBS Anand. Chief Financial Officer, that is the head of finance in the company, is Jayesh Merchant. Company introduction. Asian Paint operates in 16 countries. It has 26 paint manufacturing facilities in the world, which serve consumers in 65 countries. It manufactures a wide range of paints and decorative and industrial use. It's research. Hi Advait, how are you? Welcome to the session. Okay, its research and technology division has over 200 highly qualified scientists for technological developments. It is India's leading and Asia's 4th largest paint company. Today, it is double the size of any other paint company in India. The nearest rivals or competing firms of the Asian Paints are Kansai Nerolac Paints Limited, that is Nerolac Paints, Shalimar Paints, Jensen and Nicholson, India, and Berger Paints. So now see, what we're talking about is I'm fine, Advait. How are you doing? Nice to see you here. Nice to know. Okay, so here what we are doing here is we are having a brief company overview. This is the way we prepare a company overview. Remember, we spoke about this, the minimum contents of the company overview. What are the contents? Company introduction, what does it do? Philosophy, vision and mission, company history, core management team, top management, portfolio of business, that is the products and services, competitive scenario, who are the competitors, and financial performance. Okay, this keeps changing. So now we spoke about Adani, now we'll speak about Asian Paints. So this was the beginning of the company overview. Please take about a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. We are talking about a sample, brief overview of Asian Paints Limited. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. All right, take a minute more. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, let's proceed. Then we are looking at the philosophy of the company. This is about the company overview. What is the philosophy of Asian Paints? Asian Paints aims to become one of the top 5 decorative coatings companies worldwide by leveraging the expertise in the higher growth market, emerging markets. Simultaneously, the company intends to build long-term value in the industrial coatings business through alliances with well-established partners. So that is the philosophy of the company. That means in the long term, what does it plan to do? Now, what is the company history? The company Asphalt Runner has joined in. Hi, Asphalt Runner. How are you? What's your name? Okay, company history. It was initially set up by, now we're talking about the history of the company. It was company set up as a partnership firm by 4 partners, that is Champaklal H. Choksi, Suryakant C. Dani, Arvind R. Vakil, and Chimanlal N. Choksi. The company has been a market leader since 1967. So the company started off in 1942 and it has been a market leader in paint since 1967. So this is about the brief company history. That is when it was started, who were the promoters of the company, who started off the company. Portfolio of the company, products and services it offers. Asian Paints manufactures wide range of paints for decorative and industrial use. In decorative paints, Asian Paints is present in all 4 segments, that is interior wall finishes, exterior wall finishes, enamels and wood finishes. Okay, so this is about a brief introduction about the portfolio of the company, the history of the company, the philosophy, that is vision and mission of the company, and the products it offers. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Take another minute or two. Any questions? Please ask me. Take another minute. Any questions? Please ask me. Take another minute. Carefully go through this. Okay. Then the business in news. Asian Paints ranked 1,596th on Forbes World Largest Public Corporations List 2020. Asian Paint ranks 232nd on Forbes World's Best Employers List in 2019. So these were a few of the accomplishments that the Asian Paints company did. Okay, let's proceed with Axis Bank Limited. Now let's have a business or company overview of Axis Bank Limited. Okay, carefully you can review. Incorporation year was 1993. Headquarter was Mumbai, Maharashtra. Present head, MD and CEO is Mr. Amitabh Chaudhary. Non-executive chairman Mr. Rakesh Makhija. Chief financial officer is Puneet Sharma. Company introduction. Axis Bank is the third largest private sector bank in India. The bank offers the entire spectrum of financial services to customer segments covering large and mid corporates, micro, small and medium enterprises, MSME, and agriculture and retail businesses. The overseas operations of the bank are spread over 10 international offices with branches at Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai, Colombo and Shanghai, representative offices at Dhaka, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, and an overseas subsidiary in London, UK. So this is a brief introduction or brief company overview about Axis Bank, where we're talking about the incorporation here, who are the top management, company introduction. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions? Please ask. Any questions? Please ask. Take about a minute more. Any questions? Please ask me. जी पुनीत दुबे क्या बोल रहे हैं आप सर Jan 21 के लिए मैराथन्स करवाइए जी बिल्कुल पुनीत करवाएंगे I'll schedule some marathons for this thing. Any particular subject you're looking at Puneet? Any topics? कोई particular topics देख रहे हैं आप Okay, so let's proceed with the company history. Axis Bank is one of the first few new generation private sector banks to have begun operations in 1994. The bank was promoted in 1993 jointly by specified undertaking of Unit Trust of India, SUUTI, then known as Unit Trust of India, Life Insurance Corporation of India, and General Insurance Corporation of India, National Insurance Company Limited, the New India Assurance Company, the Oriental Insurance Company Limited, and United India Insurance Company Limited. The shareholding of the अच्छा BCK पूरा करना है ठीक है all right Puneet we'll do it ठीक है then the shareholding of Unit Trust of India was subsequently transferred to SUUTI, an entity established in 2003. Philosophy. Now here we are talking about the vision and mission, the long-term plans. To be the preferred financial solutions provider, excelling in customer delivery through insight, empowering employees and smart use of technology. Core values: customer centricity, ethics, transparency, teamwork, and ownership. So these were the core values, philosophies, and company history, part of the company profile of Axis Bank. Okay, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask me. Please take a couple of minutes. Any questions, anyone, please ask me. Any questions? Please ask. Any questions, please ask me. Okay. Portfolio of the company, products and services it offers. The bank has 10 wholly owned subsidiaries: Axis Capital Limited, Axis Private Equity Limited, Axis Trustee Services Limited, Axis Asset Management Company Limited, Axis Mutual Fund Trustee Limited, Axis Bank UK Limited, Axis Securities Limited, Axis Direct, Axis Finance, Axis Securities Europe Limited, and Axis Trades Limited. So these are its wholly owned subsidiary companies. Now, what are the products and services it offers? Segments under retail banking, the services it offers is personal banking, card services, internet banking, ATM services, depository financial advisory services, insurance, and non-residential Indian services. Under corporate banking, it provides credit, treasury, syndication, investment banking, and trustee services. Under international banking, corporate banking, trade finance, treasury, and risk management solutions through the branches at Singapore, Hong Kong, DIFC, Shanghai, and Colombo, and also retail liability products from its branches at Hong Kong and Colombo. So under the three segments, that is your retail banking, corporate banking, and international banking, these are the kind of services it provides. All right, so please take Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any class, please, any questions, please ask me. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions? Please ask me. Come on, take another minute. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask. Take another minute. Okay. Then the business in news, Axis Bank ranked 727th on Forbes World's Largest Public Corporations list 2020. Axis Bank ranked 232nd on Forbes World Best Employers list 2019. And Axis Bank Limited, one of India's largest private sector banks, announced the opening of its qualified institutions placement to raise funds of rupees 12,500. So these were the three instances in which Axis Bank was in news for its various achievements. Okay. Then let's go on to a brief company profile of Bajaj Auto Limited, Incorporation year 1945. Again, quite an old company. Ownership group, Bajaj Group, headquarter Pune, Maharashtra, India. Chairman Mr. Rahul Bajaj. Head MD and CEO is Mr. Rajiv Bajaj. Chief Financial Officer Mr. Somen Ray. The company introduction: Bajaj Auto Limited is an Indian two-wheeler and three-wheeler, Indian two-wheeler, three-wheeler and car manufacturing company. It is one of the world's top manufacturer of motorcycles in India. It is the world's largest three-wheeler manufacturer. Bajaj Auto is India's largest exporter of motorcycles and three-wheelers. It has operations in 50 countries, creating a line of bikes targeting to the preferences of entry-level buyers. So here we see that we're getting the sort of a company profile. In the case, what is its incorporation year, ownership group, headquarter, chairman, head MBA, and the company introduction. Please take about 2 minutes, go through this, and then we proceed. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask. Please take a minute more. Go through this carefully. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask me. Okay, then let's look at the company history. It was founded by Mr. Jamnalal Bajaj in Rajasthan in 1940. In 1959, it obtained a license from the Government of India to manufacture two-wheelers and three-wheelers, and it became a public limited company in 1960. Wow. 1940 it was started. 1959 it obtained the license from the government to manufacture two-wheelers and three-wheelers, and it became a public limited company in 1960. Okay. Now, what is the philosophy, mission, and vision? To attain world-class excellency by demonstrating value-added products to customers. That is the vision. That means the long-term goal. The mission, focus. That means how does it plan to achieve the vision? Focus on value-based manufacturing, continual improvement, total elimination of waste, and a pollution-free and safe environment. Hi, Anonymous. Who is this? And I'm sorry, I didn't understand your comment. Okay, please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. I'm sorry, I didn't understand that comment. Please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Take a minute more. Questions, please ask me. Take another minute. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, then portfolio of the company, products and services it offers. Segments: motorcycles, three-wheelers and low-cost cars. Products are under the motorcycle segment. We have Bajaj Avenger, CT100, Dominar, Discoverer, V12, V15, Pulsar, etc. Three-wheelers is RE Compact, RE Compact 4S, RE Optima and RE Maxima. Low-cost cars: Bajaj Qute, Bajaj RE60, etc. Business in news. So when are the instances in which Bajaj Auto has been in news? Bajaj Auto ranked 1531 on Forbes World's Largest Public Corporations list 2020. Bajaj Auto ranked 448th on Forbes World Best Employers list on 2019. Winners in the auto two-wheelers category by the International Advertising Association as part of IAA Awards 2019. Advertising campaign: Bajaj Auto, the world's favorite Indian. And then first in the industry, status of having all its manufacturing plants certified for special awards for TPM achievement by Japan Institute for Plant Maintenance. So where you will notice here that Bajaj Auto has got quite a few recognitions, and for these it was in news. Okay, please take 2 minutes, go through this, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Okay, any questions whatsoever, please ask me. Take another minute. This is how you will create company profiles or briefs about companies. Let me know once you're done, please. Okay, now let's talk about another company, Bharti Airtel Limited. Incorporation year 1995. Ownership group Bharti Group, headquarter New Delhi, India. Chairman Mr. Sunil Bharti Mittal. Present head MD and CEO Mr. Gopal Vittal. Chief Financial Officer Mr. Nakul Sehgal. Company introduction. Bharti Airtel Limited is a leading global telecommunications company with operations in 20 countries across Asia and Africa. Airtel provides GSM, 3G and 4G LTE mobile services, fixed broadband and voice services depending upon the country of operation. It is the largest mobile network operator in India and the third largest in the world with over 400 million subscribers. Okay, so this is a brief introduction, company introduction about Bharti Airtel Limited and a summarized information about them. Please take about 2 minutes and then we proceed. Carefully go through this. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask me. Come on, any questions, please ask. Take another minute. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, then company history. In 1984, Sunil Mittal started assembling push-button phones in India. By the early 1990s, Bharti was making fax machines, cordless phones, and other telecom gear. In 1992, he successfully bid for one of the 4 mobile phone network licenses auctioned in India. He was one of the first Indian entrepreneurs to identify mobile telecom business as a major growth area. His plans were finally approved by the government in 1994, and he launched services in Delhi in 1995 when Bharti Cellular Limited (BCL) was formed to offer cellular services under the brand name Airtel. Within a few years, Bharti became the first telecom company to cross the 2 million mobile subscriber mark. Philosophy, the vision and mission of the company: to enrich the lives of customers. The company's obsession is to win customers for life through an exceptional experience, and the mission is hunger to win customers for life. Okay, so this was, again, we are continuing with the company history, philosophy, mission, vision of Airtel, Bharti Airtel Limited. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Take about a minute. Any more questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask me. Let me know once you're done. Come on, any? Okay, let's proceed. Now, portfolio of the company, that is the products and services it offers. What are the various segments? First is telemedia, digital television, enterprise, mobile data service, and enterprise business solutions. So under the telemedia segment, the products offered by Bharti Airtel Limited are broadband internet access through DSL, internet lease lines, MPSL, that is multi-protocol label switching solutions, IPTV and fixed line telephone services. Digital television, under this segment, the products are direct-to-home DTH TV services, enterprise end-to-end telecom solutions to corporate customers, and national and international long-distance services to telcos through its nationwide fiber optic backbone, last mile connectivity and fixed line, and mobile circles, VSATs, ISP, and international bandwidth accessing through the gateway and landing stations, mobile data service, USB modem, Airtel data card, etc. Enterprise business solutions, under this segment, the various products are GPRS based solutions like mobile applications, tools for enterprise, TrackMate, automatic meter reading solutions, etc. And the other is SMS based solutions like interactive SMS bulk services, inbound call center. So these are a few of the products and services lines of the company. Okay, now all this is part of the company profile. Please take 2 minutes, go through this and try and understand how this is done. Any questions, please ask me. Any question, please ask me. Take a minute more. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Are we done? Business and news. Bharti Airtel ranked 700 on Forbes World's Largest Public Organizations list in 2020. Airtel Business has been awarded as Enterprise Data Service Provider for the Year and Enterprise Telecom Service Provider of the Year in the Large Enterprise segment, as at 17th edition of the Frost & Sullivan ICT Awards. Wavio, a Trivandrum headquartered startup focused on deep artificial intelligence based analytics for cloud telephony, is the fifth startup to join the fast growing Airtel Startup Accelerator program, which helps promising startups unlock their potential. So, here again, it was about Airtel in news, about what are the various activities it did, due to which it is in news. Okay, just go through this and give me 2 minutes. I'll just get some water and come back. All right. Sorry, and thank you so much. Okay, so if there's, in case there's any questions, you can ask me. If not, we can proceed. Are we done? Okay, so with that, we end with the business organizations topic under business and commercial knowledge. And we will start off with government policies for business growth. Okay, this is the next topic under your subject, business and commercial knowledge. So please remember, business policies for business growth. Business policies also constitute a part of the business environment, that is the environment in which the business works. Okay, so it is very important for us to gain an understanding about the government policies that affect the company as well. Okay, shall we proceed? Okay, now introduction. Raman was a computer science graduate and he developed an app based solution for blind students. Ali, his friend, was a CA rank holder. Ali had three offers from the two big audit firms and from a consulting company. Raman understands technology, but he does not know finance, law, and government policies. On the other hand, Ali has no exposure to technology, but he understands patent law, IPR, intellectual property law, GST formalities, financial reporting, and corporate governance issues. Ali understands the commercial responsibilities of Raman's innovation. They form a team to pitch for arranging funds from venture capitalists. Okay, so legal processes, new policies, business restrictions, financial reporting of any nation follows from government policies. Naturally, government policies are sine qua non for all spheres of the economy, not only the business startups by young entrepreneurs like Raman and Ali, but also for large-scale enterprises and multinational corporations are impacted by government policies. So what this thing simply says is there were two people, A and B. A was a technology-based guy and a creative guy, whereas B was a person who knew all the legal compliances. He knew everything about uh, patent law, IPR, GST formalities, financial reporting, but he knew nothing about technology. So basically, what they did is they formed a team together to pitch for arranging funds from venture capitalists. So that actually is a deadly combination that both of them came together. So now, what does this mean? Legal processes, tax policies, business restrictions, financial reporting of any nation follows from the government policies. Naturally, government policies are sine qua non for all spheres of the economy. Not only the business startups by young entrepreneurs like Raman and Ali, but also for large-scale enterprises and multinational corporations are impacted by government policies. Now, government policies are simple that the state or the central governments of a country make, and for the obviously they do it with the intention of betterment of the society and the businesses. And obviously, whenever any policy is done, some businesses gain, some businesses lose because you cannot keep all the businesses happy. So then each government policy has an impact on a particular business, and that is known as the government policies. Okay, so government policies are a major impact makers on multinational corporations and large-scale enterprises. All right, please. This is what we're going to talk about in this chapter. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask. Any questions? Please ask me. Take about a minute more. Any questions? Please ask. Any questions? Please ask me. Take another minute. Any questions? Please ask. Take another minute. All right. Okay, so we continue. In Bangladesh, as a state policy, import of second-hand foreign cars is allowed. Toyota steers this policy to their favor. Second-hand Toyota cars are sold in numbers to Toyota-approved dealers in Dhaka. Refurbished cars collected from buyback scheme are sold in Dhaka market. Toyota manages several service stations in the cities of Dhaka, Chittagong, and Rajshahi to provide after-sales service. So again, see now we see the government policies here, as in Bangladesh. As a state policy, import of second-hand foreign cars is allowed. So wherever it's pre-used cars of Toyota, those are all imported to Bangladesh and allowed to be sold there. That's why you have a lot of these pre-used cars, Toyota car service showrooms in Bangladesh. And for those cars, you have a lot of service centers in the state cities of Dhaka, Chittagong, and Rajshahi. to provide after-sales service. On the contrary, in India, as a government policy, no foreign car manufacturers are allowed to sell imported cars. They need to form a wholly owned Indian subsidiary or to be part of a joint venture. Toyota manufactures cars in India as a joint venture with Kirloskar Motors. So again, see, if you see in India, they do, as a government policy, they do not give any permission to sell foreign cars in India. If any foreign car maker needs to sell any cars in the country, they need to form a wholly owned Indian subsidiary or to be a part of a joint venture. Toyota manufactures car in India as a joint venture with Kirloskar Motors. For example, heavy vehicle manufacturer Volvo aspires to follow the policy of treating everyone with respect. They aspire to foster an inclusive culture where everyone can contribute to their full potential and be accepted for who they are, regardless of gender, gender identity, nationality, ethnic origin, or religion, age, sexual orientation, any disabilities, etc. However, the gender equality process are not similar in all countries, thus it becomes difficult to accomplish this aspiration. Okay, so these are a few impacts of the government policies. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Okay, as it's already been 1 hour of continuous classes, let's take a break for about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, and then we will continue. Let's take a break for about 7 minutes and then we continue the session. All right, I'll be here itself. You can go and wash up, freshen up, have a glass of water and come back in about 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah, take a break, come back in about 5 to 7 minutes. I'm here itself. Okay, come on, 3 or 4 minutes more, then we'll continue. We are in the middle of a 5-minute break. We will continue another 3 or 4 minutes. Okay? Please come back in 3 or 4 minutes. Come on, 2 or 3 minutes more. Come back. Come on, 2 more minutes, then return. Come on, another minute, everyone come back. All right, we're in the middle of a break. Another minute to go. Please come back, everyone, and then we continue. Administration way back from ancient India, and it formed parts of every dynasty, be it the Chandragupta Maurya or Akbar the Great. They all had public policy. That means the government policies for the public. Okay, please take a minute or two, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Take a minute or two. Any questions, please ask me. Go on, carefully go through this. Come on, take another minute. Any questions, please ask me. Government in India just fulfilled the duty of the police state, that is maintenance of internal order and defense of the Indian border. Their policies indirectly curbed the economic freedom of the Indian people. Politically, we were subjugated anyways. So see, here we see under the British, the public policy was that was against the people. The British government, all they did was of a police state, that is maintenance of internal order and defense of the Indian border. That's all they did, but their policies indirectly curbed the economic freedom of the Indian people. Now, what do you mean by this? They introduced the zamindari system to extract maximum revenue from Indian peasants. They introduced managing agency system through which it was possible for a handful of the wealthy British to build and control vast industrial businesses empires in India, sometimes with the assistance from Indian partners. Okay, so these were all the things that they do. Their policies were anti-Indian. Okay, so that's what we mean by this. So this is just an example. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions? Any questions? Please ask. Take about a minute more. Okay. Then India since independence. Now, what happened after independence? Independence from the colonial rule in 1947 paved way for rechartering business growth in India. So, after the 1947 independence, India got business growth in India. The fact that we came with the first industrial policy in the year 1948 suggests the urgent priority of government according to fueling industrial business and economic growth. Preamble to the Constitution of India was adopted in 1950, conferring on the people the economic freedom and recognizing the right to carry on business as a trade as the fundamental right. We embarked upon economic planning. The first five-year plan was launched in 1951. The Industrial Policy Resolution 1956 was to usher into an era of direct ownership of government in business through departmental undertakings, statutory corporations, and government companies in the sectors. Private investment was either not able or willing. Okay, so now what this thing is just trying to tell you is it's trying to tell you the importance of policy making and industrial development that was important. As India under the British rule, the government policies were all against the people. And okay, but once India got independence in 1947, the first thing they did in 1950 was they made a 1948 they came up with the first industrial policy in 1948. So you can imagine how important it is that in 1947 we got independence, and immediately after 1 year, 1947, we came up with an industrial policy. So industrial development and this thing was important. So that is also part of the government policies. Then the preamble to the Constitution of India was adopted in 1950. That means the Constitution of India. The preamble to that was adopted in 1950, and it conferred a right on people to carry on the business and trade as a fundamental right. We embarked upon economic planning. The first five-year plan was launched in 1951. The Industrial Policy Resolution was in 1956, was to usher into an era of direct ownership of the government in business through departmental undertakings, statutory corporations, and government companies in the sectors. Private investment was either not able or willing. Okay, so this is just to show you how important government policy making and this thing was there for the industrial development. Rather than choosing either capitalistic or socialistic economic systems, we deliberately chose the mixed economic system dominated by the public sector enterprises. Further, setting up of industrial units was brought under the regulation of licenses. A host of industrial and labor laws were put in place to ensure the orderly development of business activities in India. This era lasted for over 3 decades or so. So here we see how the government regulations and policies came into the picture. Okay, please take about 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Please go through it carefully. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Please take about 2 minutes. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions? Please ask me. Please take about 2 more minutes, go through this. Also, let me know once you're done. Any questions? Please ask. Are we done? All right. Now let's look at the table. The basis of comparison: policy regime of mid 50s and policy regime since 1990s. Okay, so we're looking at the government policies since mid 50s in India and policy regime since 1990s. First one, evident nature of economic system. In the policy regime of mid 50s was mixed economy with dominant public sector. So at that point, initially in the mid 50s, the public sector was very dominant. It was a mixed economy of socialist and capitalistic economy. Policy regime since 1990s is mainly capitalist economy. That's the difference. Second one, dominant instrument of economic governance. The policy regime of the mid 50s, it was economic planning. So that what was the dominant instrument of economic governance? Economic planning. And the policy regime since 1990, it is market mechanism. That means based on the market performance. The openness orientation. The policy regime of mid 50s is closed economy policies. The policy regime since 1990s is open economy policies towards globalization. The role of government in business is in the policy regime of mid 50s was acquiring commanding heights through public undertakings, under public sector undertakings. So if you see, the main dominant in the mid 50s was the mixed economy with dominant public undertakings. So the role of government in business was acquiring commanding heights through public undertakings. So it was mainly the government acquired dominant heights through public undertakings. But under the policy regime since 1990s, state ownership of business as exception, privatization of public sector undertakings. Then the next basis of comparison, role of government vis-a-vis private business. Under the policy regime of mid 50s, it was regulation and control. Basically, the government wanted regulation and control. The policy regime since 1990s was liberalization of regulations. So see the difference. In the policy regime of mid 50s, the main government policies was for regarding regulations as well as control, and the policy regime since 1990s were basically liberalizations or relaxations of those regulations. Okay, please take about 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. All right, any questions, please ask. Take about a couple of minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Take 2 minutes, go through this. Let me know once you're done, please. Any questions, anyone, please ask. Any questions, anyone? Okay, now the spectrum of government policies for business. Okay, so let's go on to the next topic. The persuasive influencer of government policies on businesses. Persuasive means it influences or it has a distinct influence on the business policies. It persuades the business policies. They are hardly in any aspect of business, be it production, finance, or marketing, that is not influenced by government policies. Government policies and laws pervade the successive stages in firm's life cycle. That means they influence it quite strongly. Now there is a budget coming up next month, so that is also a government policy, and that budget will also affect business houses, okay, in deciding their policies. There are policies and regulations impacting business startups and business registrations, that is registration as a partnership firm or incorporation as a company, environmental clearances, conduct of business, example policies affecting competition, dealings with consumers, consumer laws, and even exit, that is example insolvency and bankruptcy. Moreover, apart from the policies of the central government, there are policies of the state governments that that influence business activities in the respective states. It would not be possible to elaborate all these in this. Instead, what is attempted here is an overview of the economic policies and a discussion on how these impact businesses. So see here, you see this, right? Basically, the only thing that it's trying to say is all the government policies, there is no option. Once a government policy is made, then the business houses are bound to accept those policies and frame their policies accordingly. There is no way of not accepting a government policy. A government policy is pervading as well as binding on everyone it applies to, be it a registration as partnership firm or incorporation of a company, environmental clearances, conduct of business, that is policies affecting competition, dealings with consumers, consumer laws, and even exit, insolvency and bankruptcy. All these are government policies. Moreover, apart from policies of the central government, there are policies of the state governments too. So please remember, in India we have state governments and we have central governments as well. Central government, when the policy is enacted by the central government, it applies automatically to the entire India. Whereas there are state governments who make policies for the respective states. So those will be applicable only to the business units in that state to influence business activities in the respective states. It would not be possible to elaborate. Okay, so instead, in this discussion, we are attempting to have an overview of the economic policies and a discussion on how these impact businesses. All right, please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Anyone, any questions, please ask me. Anyone, any questions, please ask. Let me know once you're done. Please take a couple more minutes. Any questions, please ask me. Take another minute. Anyone, any questions? Anyone, any questions, please? Let me know once you're done. Just about 10 seconds more, then we proceed. Are we done? Okay. The typology of economic policy exhibited in figure pertains to their scope, fiscal policies, that is the policies relating to government expenditure and tax and non-tax revenue and the monetary policy. So there are fiscal policies which affects the government's expenditure and tax and non-tax revenue, and there are monetary policies, that is policy relating to supply of money, credit, foreign exchange, broadly impact the business. So the fiscal policies about the government spending and other things is made by the budget, and that is done by the governments. And the monetary policy, that is normally done by the Reserve Bank of India, where the policies relating to supply of credit, foreign exchange, broadly impacting the business. For example, easing of credit, the form of either access or cost might induce the firms to step up their investment and thereby realize business growth. How may fiscal policies impact business? So all these are the monetary policies are made by the Reserve Bank of India in India, and the fiscal policies are made by the government. How do fiscal policies impact business? That's a good question. So let's quickly have a look at how do fiscal policies impact business. It would not be out of place to leave a cue with the learners on the impact of fiscal policy on business. The world is experiencing the worst ever economic downturn due to COVID-19. Indian economy has not been an exception. The government announced a fiscal stimulus package to revive the economy. A fiscal stimulus package means an expenditure, that is, it will pump in money into the various sectors of the country in order to revive it. Okay. Likewise, in the past, the government provided fiscal stimulus in the wake of world economic crisis of 2008. These stimuli seek to work on the demand side and supply side of the economy and thus attempt to pedal it through the likely collapse. In fact, all economic policies work on demand side or supply side of both. Okay, so here we see that we discussed about two policies, the fiscal policy and the monetary policy. The fiscal policy is about government expenditure and tax and non-tax revenue, right? Government needs revenue to work, and it needs revenue in order to make expenditures. So that revenue comes either through taxes or it comes through non-tax revenue. So all those policies are made by the center or the state government respectively. And then there is a monetary policy. The monetary policy is regarding the supply of money, credit, and foreign exchange, broadly impacting the business. So all those, the monetary policy is made by the Reserve Bank of India in India. All right, so these fiscal policies impact businesses. Like now in COVID, there were a lot of industries, example tourism, automobile, and which were badly impacted. So the government pumped in a lot of money in them. Now, in order for the government to pump in money, that is an expenditure for the government, they need to have a source of that money, right? So then that's where the fiscal policies come in. Fiscal and monetary policies go hand in hand. So how do fiscal policies impact business? Businesses are very much impacted by fiscal policies. Whenever the particular industry or this thing is badly hit or it's affected, the government steps in to rescue that particular industry or sector and pumps in money. So recently the government gave a fiscal stimulus package to revive the economy and this thing. So even now, if the COVID is not treated and we do not gain control on it, then again the government is thinking of giving another stimulus. Like for example, in the US currently, US recently gave a stimulus package, and now due to the change in the president of the United States of America, the new president is also promising another stimulus package to the USA. So these are all the fiscal policies. Please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask me. Anyone? Any questions? Please take a couple of minutes. Anyone? Any questions? Please ask. Yeah. Take a couple of minutes. Go through this carefully. Any questions? Please ask me. Anyone? Any questions? Please ask. Take another minute. Go through this carefully. Any questions? Please ask. Okay, then the macro policy indicators and business conduciveness. Okay, so macro, now remember in economics we studied something, right? Macro and micro. Macro means the overall picture or the big picture, micro means the specific steps. Okay, now let's discuss the macro policy indicators and business conduciveness. What do you mean by this? GDP, inflation, tax rates, interest rates, and exchange rates are the five most significant macro policy indicators which impact businesses. In it is almost a standard recipe of business conduciveness that growing GDP, moderate inflation, low tax and interest rates, and moderate exchange rates serve as a tonic for businesses. Okay, so normally it is a well accepted fact that in order for businesses to grow, the ideal combination is growing GDP, moderate inflation, low tax and interest rates, and a moderate exchange rate serve as a tonic for businesses. How? Growing GDP is an indicator of economic optimism and high demand expectations, gross domestic product. Thus, a virtuous cycle is activated whereby high demand expectation is interpreted as growth opportunity. Please remember, a high GDP means a high demand, and high demand is normally associated with growth opportunity. Okay, because if there's no demand, if it's a dead economy, if no one wants anything demand, then there can never be growth there. Okay, so there has to be a demand. Thus, the virtuous cycle is activated whereby a high demand expectation is interpretation as growth economy. Greater investment leads to greater production leads to income generation, and thereby greater demand and hence lasting growth. Likewise, moderate inflation too arouses business optimism for rising prices, serve as opportunity trigger for high profitability. Moderate inflation means when the prices go up. So not very high inflation, but moderate inflation is also a good combination for business growth because it arouses business optimism for rising prices, serve as an opportunity trigger for higher profitability. Note the prefix moderate, for too low an inflation shall have a sedation effect on the economy, and too high an inflation will give rise to uncertainty. Okay, rise in costs and erosion of profits. The rate of taxes on business income is a key fiscal policy indicator directing business investment. Okay, obviously, see, if the taxes in any country or state or something is very high, then the businesses will stand to lose. So low tax is good for businesses to grow, and it will erode their profits. High taxes. The rate of taxes and income is a key fiscal policy indicator directing business investment. In general, lower tax rates stimulate business investment, and a higher tax rates repel it. Okay. Globally too, investment tends to gravitate towards lower tax regimes. Investment is inversely related with the interest rate. So please remember, investment into any business is inversely proportionate to the tax rates and the interest rates. If the tax rates and the interest rates are high, then the investments is low, and if the tax rates and the interest rates are low, the investment is high. So that is the inverse relationship. So this is a brief thing about macro policy indicators and business conduciveness. Please take a minute, go through this. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask. Any questions? Please ask me. Please take a couple of minutes, go through this. Any questions? Please ask me. Let me know once you're done, please. Take a minute more. Are we done? Okay, take about 30 seconds more. Let me know once you're done, please. Okay. Lower interest rates qualify the investment projects with lower return on investment, and hence companies can expand their business portfolios. Moderate exchange rate, that is moderately high exchange value of domestic currency, stimulates business in two major ways. One, by making the imports dearer, it encourages imports substituting production, and two, by making the exports cheaper. Okay, it enhances the international competitiveness of domestically produced goods and services. Besides, it also stimulates foreign investment, as the companies desirous of seizing market but inhibited by tariff walls can do so by setting up businesses here. The five macroeconomic variables discussed above, if managed well, indeed can together contribute towards a conducive and congenial environment of business survival and growth. It would be useful to reiterate their importance. So, what are the five more macroeconomic indicators? Low tax, low interest rates, moderate inflation, growing GDP, and one more, moderate exchange rates. Moderate exchange rates will encourage imports and exports. Okay, and lower interest rates will mean lower return on investment, and that means higher profitability. So this is also part of the government policies which determine the macro policy indicators. The five macroeconomic variables discussed above, if managed well, indeed can together contribute towards a conducive and congenial environment of business survival and growth. It would be useful to reiterate their importance. Okay, see the table on the next one. So this is a brief introduction. Please take about a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, any questions, please ask me. Take about a minute. Any questions, please ask. Take about a minute more. Any questions, please ask me. Yes? Okay, just about 10 more seconds and then we continue. Okay, now let's look at the table. Macro variables and business conduciveness. Okay, so now we are going to look at the five macro variables and how they are conducive to the businesses. Variable is GDP, inflation, tax, interest, and exchange rate. Like we discussed in the previous slide, these are the five macroeconomic indicators. Now, direction. When GDP is rising, it means economic optimism, high demand expectations. GDP means gross domestic product. So whenever the GDP is rising, what it means is economic optimism, high demand expectations. If it is falling, it means economic pessimism and low demand expectations. So whenever there is low demand expectations and economic pessimism, there can never be any development. Okay, so GDP always has to be rising. Inflation means the cost of things. As things become more and more expensive, we say inflation is on the rise, and vice versa. So inflation, when inflation is moderate means in between, neither high neither low, then it means demand and profit expectations. Variable is tax, then the next variable, GDP variable, is tax. If the direction is low, that means the taxes are decreasing, then it means incentive for investors in the form of post-tax business income. That means businesses will have more post-tax income at their disposal and to use for expansion or for other purposes. Because if the taxes are high, then a lot of their profits will go into taxation and as taxes, and they will not have the money to again retain or reinvest into the business. Interest rates of banks and banking financial institutions. If it is lower, then it means lower cost of funds. Lower cost of funds means the cost of acquiring funds from banks and banking financial institutions, it becomes lower. So if it is lower, they have, again, same like taxation, and they have more profits in their hand to be used as reinvestment or for other developmental purposes. Exchange rate, if the exchange rate is moderate, it means protection to domestic production, incentive for exports. Because please remember, if the exchange rate is very low, then there is no incentive for exports. Correct? And at the same time, the exchange rate is high, then the imports cannot happen. So it has to be moderate, because then protection, due to that, there is protection to the domestic production and incentive for exports. All right, please take about a minute to go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Please take a minute more. Any questions, please ask. Take a minute more, please. Carefully go through this table, it's important. You can also take it down if you want to, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Take a minute more. Any questions, please ask. Just 10 more seconds and then we proceed. All right, okay. Now it is important to mention a caveat here. Caveat means terms and conditions. The impact of macro variables on business is contingent upon a host of factors, including the host of non-economic factors such as political, legal, socio-cultural institutions. In economics, it is almost imperative to hold other things constant while assessing the impact of one variable economy. So please remember, along with those macro GDP macro components, there are also a lot of non-economic factors which affect the political government policies. In economics, it is almost imperative to hold other things constant while assessing the impact of one variable in the economy. For example, if moderately low exchange rate can help in the economy, the other countries may resort to retaliatory exchange regimes and thereby neutralize the country's advantage. Moderate inflation stimulates business more. So if it is caused by increase in demand, a cost push inflation, even moderate, may not be much conducive. Likewise, lower rates of interest may not by themselves be adequate in attracting investment in case other conditions of demand and supply are conducive. Thus, the underlying causal factor, presence of other enabling factors on demand and supply side, complementary socio-cultural institutions, and above all, the overarching assumption, given other things constant, mediate in the impact of macroeconomic variables on business conduciveness. So these 5 factors that we saw, they do not work in isolation. That's what it means. Normally, if a GDP is rising, it does not always mean that there's economic optimism, a high demand or expectation. There are other variables also which affect it, as that you cannot expect the others to be constant. Similarly, for inflation, tax, interest, and exchange rate. Okay, so not the least, there is always a time lag between calibration, recalibration of a macroeconomic variable and its impact. Calibration means tuning, recalibration means retuning of a macroeconomic variable. So please remember, it is all interconnected. You cannot say that, okay, my interest rates have come down, so that definitely means more demand. No, it may not be there, because your interest rate might come down, but your tax rate might go up. Your interest rates might come down, but your GDP might come down. So everything has to move in a particular direction for the desired results. Okay, you cannot look at things in isolation. Please take a minute, go through this. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask me. Please take a minute more. Any questions? Please ask. Anyone? Any questions? Please take a minute more. Any questions? Please ask me. Come on, take another minute. Any questions? Please ask me. Please go through this carefully. Let me know once you're done, please. Are we done? Okay, in case you're done, then let's stop the session with this. We will continue tomorrow at 6:30 with this and the next topic under business and commercial knowledge. I hope you really found the session useful. It was a pleasure to take this session for you all today. Thank you so much. Good evening, good night, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much.